Now let's continue with another topic, corporate branding. Earlier, Aubrey, Ghose, CEO of AI's Brand Lab, talked to us about branding and what the key elements are for a brand to become successful on a global scale. Let's take a look.
Global agency. We've got offices in London and Barcelona is our head office, and we're in Dubai. And from there, we work across 5 continents. So we're working in the States and in Europe and in India and in China.
Well, now tell us about the kind of services that you give. I know it's about branding, and I know there are very different types of it. Yeah. Tell us what it is.
Well, we've built our business model around an idea, which is that businesses need to be cohesive in the way they go to the consumer, so that they can create a strong image in the mind of the collective consumer. So what we've done is we've created our business around 4 pillars, but within those we actually have we do everything. So we do architecture, we do interior design, we do branding, identity, advertising and staff training. And these things are very important because we can design them with one hand. So we're a sort of one-stop shop for brands who come to us, and we do everything. We build a kind of DNA of the brand, and then we design all those aspects, quickly and effectively, and then we develop manuals for our clients so that they can deliver their brands consistently and cost effectively.
Now, one of the things you said, the DNA of a brand, I want to know what makes a good DNA.
What makes a good DNA? Basically, integrity. Okay. I think that's the big thing. I think if you build around your brand around something that's honest and true, then it's going to work, because consumers, you can't lie to consumers anymore, because one of the big pillars of branding is now social networking and the internet. So through that, the truth is out. It's in the ether, and people talk to each other about your product or your brand or your service. So you have to be honest and true in building a kind of DNA of a brand. But the other important thing about a DNA is that it gives you a personality that's different to every other brand. So lots of banks end up looking all the same, and lots of food retailers end up all the same, and even shoe shops do. So it's important that brands have a real differentiating personality, and that also gets built. It's one of the genomes, if you like, of a DNA. And the other thing, it's a good question. I'm never going to stop because it's an important one. But I think the other really important thing about building a DNA is innovation, finding what your brand is doing that's properly innovating within its sector. So if you're a food retailer, what are you doing that other food retailers aren't doing? Or if you're a bank, what are you doing that other banks can't do? And finding that innovation piece is very important. So there's actually 6 or 7 things that we define about a brand within the DNA, and then we allow those things to influence everything we're doing, whether we're designing the website or the identity or the name or the architecture or the interior.
So it's not just being a good personality, but it's being very different and unique.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, and give us maybe an example in how you can be innovative, how you can differentiate yourself that makes you actually seem very special.
Well, it's every single client we work for, we do that. So a couple of examples would be one's a food retailer we've just worked with. And their challenge was how to make small stores. They did very large stores very well, and the challenge was how to make small stores special. So generally, these food retailers do small stores, and they do them very badly. They try to they're a bad version of a big store. So what we did is we made the small store all about fresh, totally fresh, because that draws customers in every day. And we created touch screens that happen in the store, so you can walk along and you touch things that aren't fresh. So water, people need water, or canned food, or nappies. Nobody likes carrying all this stuff home, but you love to go in and smell fresh food and vegetables and bread and stuff. So you're going to buy fresh, but as you're shopping the store, you touch these screens and you can order water, and it prints out a barcode. And as you're shopping, as you're going out and checking out with your fresh vegetables, you give on the trolley handle, we've got this little stack of a holder for the barcodes, and customers give that in, they scan it, and you pay for it, and they deliver it to your door within an hour.
Brilliant.
Isn't it?
It's just brilliant.
It is.
Just what
so what we've done is taken a small store and turned it into a huge store, but we've done it with the consumer in mind. In banking, another great example, I'll just give you this one. We're working with a large bank in the Middle East, and we're designing the banks like petrol stations. So instead of putting branches on the street corners, we're putting big branches and designing them just like petrol stations. So instead, you pull up to the petrol pump. It's not petrol, it's an ATM, but there's live 24-hour access to a call center. So you're speaking to somebody from your car window, you're talking to somebody. And also the bank itself then has got parking. And we're positioning these petrol station banks, we call them, on the main arteries between where people live, work and play. So where now the bank is not trying to exist where all the banks want to be in the same places, but we've created a completely different paradigm, a really innovative, unique way of delivering a bank. And we think just with 2 or 3 banks like that, you can do more business and have more brand equity than having 20 little branches, you know, on street corners.
That is unbelievably impressive.
It is, and we are insane at creative, and that's what we built our business around, and that's why we've been so successful over the years, because we truly innovate. Lots of agencies say that we're creative and we're innovative. We spend a lot of time and effort making sure that we properly are, but we always innovate for one purpose only, and that's to increase market share and increase the profitability of the clients that we're working for.
It all comes down to profit, doesn't it?
In the end.
That's what business is all about. But what I like about what you've said is that it's really thinking about the new, the new world, as you call it in your writings, actually, which I want to ask you about, this new order that you're talking about. Because, people are online, you're using them, they want to touch their screens, they want to do something fresh, everything's about being organic now.
Right.
So it's totally understanding the new concept and the new perspective of people coming up.
I think that's right. I think brands have to get into the mindset of their customers and deliver themselves in a way that's right for the customer. The old paradigm is that you built a brand or a model around what you wanted to sell and people came to you to do it, and that's just not good enough anymore. You have to be much brighter and find clever ways of serving your customers better. Mm-hmm. So if it's like that small food store concept or the petrol station idea, these are all things that actually make customers' lives better. And that's what brands ultimately exist to do. Mm-hmm. You only trust and love a brand if it makes your life better and it does the thinking for you. So that's where we live. That's our area of expertise.
What about when we take a look at how Turkey is placed in that map?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm here, because I think when I look at Turkey, I see it very much like a couple of other regions in the world where we're seeing enormous growth. Turkey's been fantastic over the last couple of years because it's really ridden the storm, the world storm, very well. You know, banks have ridden it very well. And there's a huge youth in Turkey, emerging youth. They're bright, they're vibrant, they're connected with youth around the world through music and fashion and the website and social media. So the youth of the world is all connected in one way, and young Turkish people, and I've had the fortune of talking to a few over the last few days, are very exposed. They will not accept second best. You know, they just want the best of everything. And I do see a lack of innovation, though, on the other hand, in Turkey from Turkish brands. And that's one of the reasons that we've decided to come and start working in the Turkish market, because we have a lot to offer Turkish brands who want to come of age and beat the international brands.
And I think the Shopping Fest is one of the areas that they're trying to do this in.
It is, and actually one of the reasons I'm here at this time is because I wanted to see what's going on. Of course, Barcelona has a great shopping festival, and that's where our head office is. Dubai does as well. In fact, Dubai kind of started the idea of it, and that's where I live with my family in Dubai now. And I wanted to see how Istanbul was dealing with the shopping festival, and that's why I'm here, really. One of the reasons I'm here at the moment.
So when you look at Turkey, where do you see us in the future?
Well, I see Turkey, a good question. I actually see Turkey growing up. Okay. I think it's time for Turkey to come of age, and I don't think Turkey needs the European Union anymore. Nobody does. Thank God you didn't join, when you wanted to, in some ways. I see Turkey really emerging as becoming Turkey has always had it's an amazing place on the planet. It's always been this incredible, meeting point between East and West, as we know. And I think, but it's time that it stops being dormant. And I think Turkish industrialists and entrepreneurs are doing so well that there's no reason there aren't more international Turkish brands. Exactly. And that's another reason why we're here. I think that the next 5 to 10 years is going to be all about, great Turkish brands, becoming better than international competition, and we can help them do that.
So being global, starting from Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why aren't there more international Turkish brands? You know, when you look at the economy here and the growth and compare it to other countries of about the same size, Turkey underperforms in terms of exporting brands. And that's what I see changing over the next 5-10 years.
And with the optimism of Aubrey Ghose, we end our show today. I'm Michal Bardavid. Stay tuned on 6 News.